Hello. In this lesson, we're going to explore another way to start your building. This time, it will be started using a cut. Let's start with a common sketch of 40 by 40 units, and then we'll start to perform a cut in that sketch. We're going to perform a cut that will be the base for this new building. I will do two cuts here. I will say this will be parallel to this base, and this one will be parallel to this base. Now I will say this segment will be between 20 and 30% from the complete side of the sketch, and I will say the same here. From 20 to 30%, I'm already introducing variations in my building shape. I will give another cut here that will be parallel to this side, and another one here that will be parallel to the other cut. And I will say this segment will be from 30 to 50% of the whole cut. Now I will label these regions. I will say this will be west, this will be east, and this will be north. Then I will label my edges in these areas, these faces, using the compass. And for last, I will label the segments that is in contact with another area inside the building. That will be the segment that will be hide inside the building. I will label as invisible. I'll say this segment will be invisible. This other segment also invisible. Okay, invisible. And I will name the segments that is the opposite of that here in this area also invisible. That is using opposite will be labeled. I will say this will be invisible, and the opposite of that also will be invisible. The result of this operation will be this. As you can see, this segment that will be hidden inside the building now are invisible. And now I can start to perform extrusions in those areas. First, I'll select east, west, and north, and I will perform an extrusion in those three areas using a mount. Let's create a variable here that will be h1. h1 will be from 30 to 16 units in a step of 3 units, that is the height of your floor. And now I will say this is my H1. Now the result, sorry, I have to perform it on the 3 regions. The result will be this. And now in the caps I can select 2 of those caps. I will select here west and north. Let's define another variable that will be H2. That will be from that can be from 15 to 30 in the step of 3, and H3 the same from 15 to 30 in the step of 3. I will say here first of all I will rename, because now the invisible size now will be visible. I will rename invisible to west. Now I will perform an extrude here of H2, and then again in the caps of here I will select only the north and perform a third extrude operation, in this case H3, and this will be my result. This is an urban building with an interesting volume that, as you can see, can change have variations, and then I can introduce more variations to this volumetry, randomizing the label assignment in this card using a random rename. Here I can rename, I can say, first of all, I will change my labels because it can affect the edges. I don't want to affect the edges. I will select here the label 1, sorry, I will create 3 labels, 1, 2, and 3. Now here I will say this will be 1, this will be 2, and this will be 3. I select here 1, 2, and 3. Here will be 1 and 3 and 2 and 2. This one is okay, and this will be 2. The result is the same, as you can see, but now I can randomize those label assignation, saying that 1 I will change for 2, or 1 to 1, or 1 to 3, or 2 to 1, 2 by 2, or 2 by 3, or 3 for 1, 3 for 2, or 3 stay at 3. Now, as you can see, the result will have more variations because in each label I perform different operations and I randomize the label assignation for this volume. This is a useful way to randomize your operations. Finally, I can use one function that I got here. These sides, I will put this function, these sides too, and in these sides, I will select everyone except invisible, and now I have a building with windows, glasses, etc. This is very useful way to make large downtown scenes. Now I'm going to add some more variants to this cut, that is the definition of the shape of your building. I will add more variations here. I will start adding here. I choose 1, 2. This will be 1. I will add another cut. In this case, I'm going to say this here. These two will be parallel. And my distance, and I will say this will be from 30 to 40%. This one, I will say the same, parallel, and this distance will be from 30 to 40%, and I will add here another cut. I will say this will be between 5 and 15. The same here, between 5 and 15. I'm going to add here a curve like this, and I will set the segments of that curve to 4 units and adjust segment by axis. Now I'm going to put my labels, and I will say this will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 2, and this will be 3. And I will say my invisible labels, this one invisible 2, and the opposites, and the opposite of this. And let's see the other variation of this. As you can see, you have another building. I have to put this one is also invisible, and the opposite of this will be invisible too. Let's see now. Now it's correct. Perfect. You can add more variations, but first we have to solve a problem. As you can see, I'm going to disable this part. As you can see in my volume, this face is inside the building and don't need to appear, because when I apply the function with the windows or the glasses, etc., this part will obtain glasses or windows, and is not correct. I have to perform an action between each face of the extrude in order to solve that. Okay? I'm renaming, after the first extrude, I'm renaming the invisible to west, and that is not correct. The correct way is here to perform a rename by conditions. It's by conditions, and I have to say by opposite, rename the edge with label whatever to west when it's opposite to a face label 3, because 3 is the face that doesn't enter in the next extrude. Then this will be the result. Let's see. After the first extrude, maybe I have first to perform a merge here. And then I got this face will be west from now. The extrude will be this. Now I don't have the west face inside. On the same thing I have to do here. I will perform a merge here, and then another rename by conditions. In this case, I will say, rename the edge, we label whatever, to west, when it is opposite to a face label, one, that is the only face that doesn't go to the third extrude, and way to go. That is correct. Now I don't have inside faces.